Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you can see from the title down below, I will be doing another girl talk, but this time I'm just doing it with my best friend Pauline. I'm sure you've met
Hey.
her already. You've met her already in the past girl talk videos, but this is a topic that's really important to me, and Pauline has been with me through, a lot of the things we'll be talking about. So this is why she's special to me, and I'm doing a girl talk with her. Anyway, so our topic today is about
So,
relationships and breakups. Woo!
yay!
I asked you guys to ask me some questions on Instagram, and we'll be answering those questions today. So let's just begin, I guess. First question is biggest red flags.
I really don't like it when guys aren't calm and they don't know how to be calm. Because I feel like when a guy is not calm, they lack the self-control, which is so important in a relationship because you need to know how to control yourself, your urges, or like those emotional, explosions that we tend to have. So when a guy doesn't know how to be calm or to control himself in general, that's like a red flag to me.
One of the red flags would probably be if, like, obviously if he treats other people rudely. So
Mm,
so let's say he's rude to the wait staff, or he's rude to basically people just trying to help him.
yeah, that's true. It
And
shows so much
obviously
of their
if,
character.
right, or the typical, if he's like talking to multiple girls even when he's supposed to be exclusive, big red
Yikes,
flag.
big yikes.
Okay, next question is, what are your go-to breakup snacks and movies to binge?
Oh, oh my gosh. Sometimes like it's so weird, but when I go through that, like that experience or being in like a really like dark place in my life, I don't feel like eating. Like I lose my appetite. I don't know
Same.
why. But I think in order when it comes to like binge eating something, or I'd probably stick to eating ice cream and sweets because they
Yeah.
say that ice creams, chocolates, or like warm drinks like hot chocolate, coffee, that improves your mood. So I'm probably gonna stick to eating those things. So or drinking those things.
What do you binge, like watching, like shows?
Oh, shows. Oh, I'd probably like before I'd watch Friends all the time. I love the show Friends. But like now I'd probably watch The Community or something. I love The Community. It's a really good sitcom too.
Okay. Well, for me, I'm the same with you, that if I'm upset, I kind of lose my appetite. So like I actually don't eat, and yeah, it's kind of bad. But
Yeah,
when I do start eating again,
yeah, really bad.
my my comfort food is probably sweets, like ice cream, chocolates, like basically just anything sweet. And
Yeah.
um for like shows that I binge is usually Modern Family, just because it's like funny, and like I just need something uplifting. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I tend to binge watch. Next question is, how do you cope or get over a breakup?
Oh man.
Um, when you find out, you let me know.
Oh.
I'm joking. Um, okay, I guess. Okay, people deal with it differently, I feel like. Because other
True.
people would want to go out and just, distract themselves, while other people would rather stay at home and just deal with everything by themselves. So it really depends on what kind of person you are. Um, for me, at least, I'm the type of person who likes going out, being with friends, distracting myself with like self-care with like my friends, like getting my nails done with friends or something like that.
Yeah.
That's how I cope. And given that it's lockdown here, and where Pau
Oh,
is, it's also
that's even
lockdown there.
worse.
It's okay. Yeah, I feel like you have to find a way to adjust. So I'm the type of person who likes going out to cope with it, but since I can't do that now, then I had to like find a different way to adjust, and that ended up being talking to my cousin about stuff, or online shopping, and just doing like a fashion show in the room or something like that. Just something to get my mind off it. But for me at least, I think it really helps to talk to friends. Like, try not to
Yes,
keep everything
definitely.
bottled up, because if you keep, this was my mistake. I tried to keep everything bottled up at the start because I thought like I could deal with this myself. I can handle it myself. And then one day I just ended up exploding, and I just had like a full on breakdown where I couldn't stop crying. So I feel like well, for me at least, I shouldn't bottle it up, which is why I ended up reaching out to other people and talking about it. Like, I talked to Pau about it.
So important.
Yeah, and I found that after talking to Pauline about it, I ended up feeling better. So, yeah, again, it just depends on you, but I think it's really important to talk to people. How about you,
Yeah.
Pau?
I agree 100%. When you go through a hard experience like that, you shouldn't let yourself be alone with those thoughts, because your mind is going to be clouded and you're going to think all these things that, the enemy likes to, embed in your head, which isn't good at all. And it's really important that you have an outlet to really express those negative emotions, because if you don't have that outlet, you're going to like have these explosive emotions, and you're gonna just it's not gonna help you feel any better. And if you were to ask me personally how I would cope up with a situation like that, I guess like for me what really helps is a lot of reflecting and self-talk, because that's just like who I am in general. I like to just sit alone in my thoughts and try to confront them, acknowledge them, and see how I can help myself through that. So like what I learned from breakups is that, I don't want to view it like as, a failed relationship, even though that's literally what it means. But like, it's like for me, I want to see it as just like, because like changing my perspective in things is one way to help myself. So I just see it like as an end of a time and season you had with the person, because all relationships, not all relationships work, and they're not meant to work. It's more of like a compatibility issue, and if your needs aren't aligned with each other. So to me, breakups are just like, it just means that there's another door knocking for you, a love that you're meant to receive. And I just want to change my perspective and fixate my mind on that, because it helps me feel better and cope up with like that hard experience. So yeah.
Oh. No, I actually get what you when you said that like people are just here for like, a season. My mom always told me, like whenever I'd rant to my mom, the thing she'd always tell me is, some people are here for a season and some people are here for a reason.
Yeah,
And and if you go through a breakup, then obviously that person was just in your life for a season. And someone else will come in a different season and
exactly.
maybe even treat you better, you know?
Exactly.
And also, the thing with breakups, you can't help it, but you'll end up thinking, you'll have these negative thoughts saying, like, oh, what if I did this? Or was I not good enough? Blah, 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 blah.
Hmm.
Try to avoid those thoughts as much as possible. And I know it's hard because I'm even having a hard time avoiding those
Hmm.
thoughts. But try your best to avoid those thoughts, because those thoughts are what's gonna bring you down, and it's gonna make it harder for you to move on as well.
Exactly. And like, if ever you've been like, if you were mistreated in that relationship, yeah, we have this tendency to believe that it has something to do, like something negative to do with ourselves. But, it's really, don't let those thoughts get to you, because sometimes the truth is it might be because you're too good for them. Like, they can't afford to love you the way that you deserve. And that's so
True.
important.
Preach. Okay, next question is, how do you move
Oh,
on from
man.
being cheated on?
Oh my, Monica, do you want to answer that first?
Um, I honestly don't know. I'm joking. Okay. Hmm. This hits too close to home.
Oof.
Um, but anyway, honestly, same thing with the whole like you can't think that it's your fault because if they cheated on you, it's their fault. Like there, there's
Yeah.
like there's a lot of different ways they could have gone about the relationship, and cheating would be the absolute last thing they could have done. So if
Mm,
they, if they stopped um loving you in the middle of the relationship, or if they thought something was missing, they could have easily just talked to you about it, or
exactly.
broken up with you before they saw that other person. There is absolutely no freaking reason or acceptable excuse for someone to cheat on you. So I feel like if you're going through this, you have to just keep reminding yourself of that you are absolutely good enough. And maybe they, like as Pau said, maybe they weren't good enough
Amen.
for you. And the reason they cheated on you was because they couldn't handle the love that you were giving them. And, and you just
True, so
deserve,
true.
you deserve more. You deserve to be loved as much as you love the other person. And if they cheated on you, then goodbye. Like just kick them out. You don't need that type of relationship in your life.
Exactly. Yeah, preach. Exactly. And like, it's just, breaking up with a partner because they cheated on you, as opposed to breaking up, just because of failed relationship. It's so different because what comes with, being cheated on is like, it's just a degrading form of betrayal. And it's going to be so difficult to really be able to trust again. And I think that's the worst part. And honestly, like I've never really experienced this myself, so I don't know if anything I'm going to say is really helpful. But in any relationship you really enter, you carry that fear, right, of being cheated on. So like you already know how painful that's going to be. So to move on from that, or to cope up from that, it's like what I said a while ago. It takes a lot of just shifting your focus. And what Monica said, that first it has nothing to do with who you are or your inherent worth. And if you just view that, experience as like this liberating feeling to be free from someone who would have that much of a audacity to mistreat you that way. And if you just magnify that the truth that, you're free from someone who can't love you in ways that you deserve, you just pretty much, you've saved yourself from someone who could and would. And like, yeah, being with a cheater, being with someone like that, you limit yourself with the love that you truly deserve. But like what I said, being cheated on, that really takes away your ability to fully trust again. So like, Monica, I want to ask you, how do you regain that trust?
I just,
I'm really curious, how do you regain that trust, or like rebuild that trust?
I honestly, here's the thing. This is what, Pao, you were the one who said this to me. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think you said so. I don't like know it word for word, but you said something in the lines of like, if you could love the wrong person that much, how, like, imagine how better it would be if you loved the right person as much as you love the
Oh,
wrong
yeah.
person, right? So, and
Oh,
I feel like
yeah.
you were the one who said
Oh,
that.
no, no.
but but I feel like that's so true though, because if you could actually love the wrong person so much, imagine how much better it would feel for you and for the other person when you actually, put that love into someone who's right for you. The
So,
thing with regaining trust, I guess it just takes time. Like
mm-hmm.
at least now you know your worth. Now you know how much love you should be putting into a relationship and how much love you should be getting back. So
Yeah.
to regain, I mean, obviously it's gonna take time to regain that trust. It's not gonna come back overnight. But I feel like when you meet the right person, you'll just know, and you'll find a way to trust them.
Yeah, I guess like honestly, because I don't know, like trusting is so difficult for me. Like even if like nothing has happened to me, I still I still have a difficult time like unless you're Jesus Christ, I'm not gonna trust you 100%. Like seriously. So I don't know. I'm just like really
Amen.
curious how I'm just really curious how people can trust so easily.
Okay, next question is it's still related to cheating, but it's why do people cheat? Um,
Why cheat?
honestly, I don't know. Like some people maybe are just so insecure in their relationship that they feel the need to cheat. Some people maybe are falling out of love with the other person and they just can't say it straight up, so they use cheating as an excuse.
Mm,
Or it's just some people are just really terrible and feel no remorse for cheating. I really don't know why people cheat. They really shouldn't.
yeah. And like to answer that question, like I don't think you can really, dictate the intentions of people when they cheat because it's different for everyone. Like they have different reasons as to why they cheat. So like I don't know, this question really makes you think because it's so hard to answer. Like, even good men cheat.
Mm,
People who are in happy relationships, they still cheat. So it's like, why do they
mm,
do that? I asked my dad that question, like, why do people cheat? And my dad's answer was so simple. Like, he didn't even think about it. He was like, because they're weak. And I was like, oh, wow. Because they're weak to like resist temptation, control their urges. They're weak to be mature enough to have, a difficult conversation as to what's wrong with the relationship and why they're not happy. And I think that really spoke to me, yeah. Because I think people cheat because they don't know how. They want easy way out, or like they just want immediate gratification.
yeah.
That's why they cheat. So I think this is like a general thing. It's hard to answer for everyone really, but yeah.
Yeah. Next question is how do I get girls to reply to me?
Oh my gosh, boy. This
um,
guy.
okay. In okay, don't okay, I guess don't be so aggressive, you know? Like you can't just message someone and just be like I don't know, like just be chill. Just be like just start with like a hey, how are you?
Yeah.
Or you don't have there's no like there's no magical way to make a girl reply. It's just that just just start easy and just start with like a hi, how was your day, or how are you. You don't have to think of these like really clever and corny puns or jokes
Yeah.
or no,
True.
like honestly though 90% of the time if you message a girl just to be like hi, how are you, they'll probably reply. But if you message them with like a really corny pun, then that's like a 50-50.
Yeah, honestly, I suck at replying. So to answer that question, I don't really know. Like, um, yeah, but Monica said, don't be aggressive because that's like a major turn off. Also, if like you're like so like you're trying like you're getting mad at them for not replying and stuff. I hate that. I really hate that.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, just be like, just like pray that you reply. No, I'm just kidding. No, I think you just have to like yeah, just go easy. Just like um, respect the fact that respect the fact that not everyone can reply on time. Not everyone has the time to actually reply. So just go easy. Just have like a small conversation. Like try to think of like yes, simple stuff like hi, how are you, or how's your day. Like it doesn't have to be anything too clever or corny or cheesy. Just like show that you're sincere in wanting to talk to the person. I think that's what matters. If like your sincerity and wanting to know the person and talking to them shows, and in a way you're not being too demanding of their time. So yeah.
Okay, last question. Would you ever befriend an ex? Would you ever be friends with your ex?
Oh,
Um, I, I
I
guess,
like your reaction to that. Oh.
okay, I think it really depends on what type of person you are and what the breakup was about. Because I feel like if it was like a mutual breakup, and you're both really respectful of each other's wishes, and you're both still in a good place, then I feel like you can be friends with them, but obviously not right away. I feel like there should be a bit of time after the relationship or after the breakup.
True, so
And
true.
then, because like you need to move on, you know? So take like a few months off, move on, and then maybe in the future you could be friends. But I feel like if it was a bad breakup, like if it was a really toxic relationship, then maybe it would be better if they weren't in your life anymore. But that's just
True.
personal opinion. Like if it was a really bad breakup, if they were like screaming at you or whatever, then obviously why would you want that in your life? So, but
Yeah,
again, it really
exactly.
depends on you. It depends on your values and how you think the relationship was or how the breakup was. But I personally wouldn't want to be friends with someone who yelled at me or who cussed at me or anything like that?
Mm, exactly. Like personally also, I don't know. Like for me, I would say like don't do it. Just like don't do it. Like, but the question that I would ask to whoever asked that question, like, why would you want to befriend your ex? Like, what qualities does this person have that makes you still want to be friends with them? Because it's difficult to be friends with your ex while you're still in the process of trying to move on from them, and trust me, it really doesn't work that way, and it really does take time first before you can actually feel comfortable being friends with them. Because if you're still like friends with them and you're also trying to move on, you're still going to carry those old feelings that you have, which will make it much more difficult for you to move forward from that past relationship, which is something that you really have to think through before you actually want to be friends with them again. So it depends on you and how and what you feel is right for you, because you have to take the time to think about it. Like, how do you feel about this person? Do you still have feelings for this person? Is it okay for you guys to be friends again? It depends on your state, like mentally and emotionally, and how you feel towards that person before you can decide if it's okay really to be friends with them again. So yeah.
So that's it for the questions. But Pao and I are actually just gonna cuento about, whatever, and then maybe you can also take something out of our cuentos, and yeah,
Oh,
because we'll
I didn't know
we'll
that there's
continue
like this.
we'll continue talking about relationships and breakups, and maybe there was something there that you forgot to ask, and then we're actually answering it in our cuentos. So yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, hi Pao.
Hi. So how are you coping up now?
I mean, okay, this is the thing. This is what I tell everyone that asks me, like how I am. I am over the whole thing, honestly. Like, I'm over him, I'm over the relationship. I feel like the thing that I'm just not over is actually losing a friend. That's what I keep telling people.
Yes.
Because the thing is, when you're in a relationship, they're not just your boyfriend or girlfriend, they also eventually become your best friend. Because
Mhm.
it's just how it works. And I feel like the thing that makes a breakup really hard is when you realize that they're not your friend anymore. Because it's like, they were the first person you'd talk to or message when something good or bad happens in your life. And it's like when the relationship ends, it's like, okay, who do I talk to now? And I feel like that's the thing that I'm not over yet, you know?
Yeah, that is so true. Yeah, like you're not only losing a lover, but you're also losing a friend. And I think that is so much more worse. That is so much more painful. And yeah, I guess healing is just like it's a really, really messy thing, especially if you're trying to cope up from, that breakup. Like, because you're so used, I think you're so used to thinking of this person, of being with this person. You have these certain routines with this person. So trying to get over that is
it's really, really difficult. So it takes a lot of, like learning and unlearning old habits and learning new ones. So it's just like, it takes a lot of time, but it also takes like this like you have to really be like, you have to have this conscious effort to really heal. Like you can't just, let yourself, you can't just wait that for the time that you're suddenly okay again, because it doesn't work that way. And you really need to try to invest in something else. Like the most important is you start to invest in yourself, which I learned. Like when it's a breakup, you're entering a new relationship, but this time it's with yourself. So
Yes.
it's like, do things that you haven't done do things that you couldn't do when you were in that relationship, and whatever needs that weren't met in that relationship, you start to meet those needs on your own, and you start to fulfill that for yourself. So yeah, I think that's what really helped me cope up with, things like that.
I mean, I feel like it's also like allow yourself to feel the pain at the start, because if you
Yes,
keep
so important.
bottling it up, it's gonna keep prolonging the thing. So honestly, have a good cry sesh. Like just cry it
Yes,
all out and just
so
like
true.
feel every emotion you're feeling. Cry out to like Olivia Rodrigo, scream good for you or enough for you. Literally all I've been doing these past few
Oh
weeks
my
have been like
gosh.
screaming my lungs out. But honestly, feel every emotion that your body is making you feel, because the longer you try to like hide it, the longer you keep saying, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, even if you're not,
Yeah,
the longer it's going to take for you to actually heal, you know?
so true.
And the thing is also, even if the person hurt you a lot, try not to hate them and try not to burn bridges. Like,
So
a lot of people are like, yeah, I hate you, like, get away, and blah, blah, blah. And then they harbor
true.
these negative feelings. And then they just, like, try not to do that, because the more you hold something against them, the more you harbor these feelings, the more you won't move on. At least, like, you don't have to necessarily forgive them, but at least just let them go and just don't think about them. Don't even, like, just, you don't have to forgive them, but try not to hate them. So at least you're not constantly thinking about them. So yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like that really helped me a bit, because like I feel like at the start I was really like harboring all these negative emotions. I was holding a grudge. And once I actually let that go, I think that's when a weight was lifted off my shoulders a bit. But
Yeah, that's something that I admire so much with Monica, with like she was dealing with this really hard experience, because like normally it's normal for everyone to resent, their ex, to be bitter over what they did. But like the first thing that Monica told me was like, I don't hate him. That was literally the first thing. Like, why? Why don't you hate him? But that's literally the first thing she said. Like, I don't hate him. I was like, bro, okay, okay. But she said that, like, yeah, it really doesn't help when you resent your ex, and when you carry like all these bitter feelings, because you're only putting yourself in that losing end, and it doesn't give you that peace that you need when you just continue to like resent over them. And when you try to avoid the feelings that you have, yeah, it's so important that you have to feel your feelings, because when you avoid those feelings, those thoughts, when you try to power them away, they only come off stronger, which sucks, which is why you can't avoid that. You have to like try to confront them, sit with those thoughts, and find an outlet, like what I said, to release those negative emotions in a way that is healthy for you.
anyway, I don't want to end this in such a gloomy thing. How
I don't
is,
know, I think it's
being in a healthy relationship feel?
a healthy okay, let's talk about healthy
Yeah,
relationships. Let's talk about that.
we're gonna talk
Let's talk
about
about
healthy
healthy
relationship now. We are letting
okay,
everything negative
yeah.
go.
Okay, I think the thing that we have to understand is that healthy relationships is not something that you can just find. It's not something that you just hope to find the right person and build this healthy relationship. It's something that you have to create with, your partner. Which is like super super important to understand, because entering any relationship in general, the question is like, why would you have to ask yourself, like, why do you want to be with this person? And I think what made the relationship healthy, even if it's like, if we're like distance, it's just that it's the fact that we see the relationship as an opportunity for growth, for involvement, for advancement, and it's just supposed to be this safe place for people to just authentically express themselves to their partners. Because I think we have this like misconception that relationships, they're supposed to make us happy, but that is not true. Relationships aren't really supposed to make us happy. They're not supposed to complete us. That's something that we have to work on our own. But because if you think that relationships are supposed to make you happy, that's emotions driven, which could actually easily like dissipate, which is why it's so important that you just see this relationship as an opportunity for you to grow with this person and like freely express yourself with this person and give them a safe place for that as well. So yeah, I think that's something that is so important to me, and what makes a relationship healthy. You like work with your differences, because I think that's so normal for each couple, each partner to have their differences, but you have to work with it, with the differences that you guys have, and build a language with what works for the both of you guys. And yeah, communication is key, especially if it's distance. It's key.
That's it for our Q&A and cuento and all that. Like, I hope you guys took something out of this. I hope you guys learned a bit. Just honestly, bottom line is just know your self-worth, and
Yeah.
you know, just do stuff that makes you happy. If the
Mm-hmm.
relationship isn't making you happy anymore, then that's really something you should think about.
Yeah, and like lastly, the best love that you could have is self-love. So learn how to invest in yourself before investing in anyone else. Because once you're able to really meet your own needs and communicate your own needs, then it's like loving yourself is like giving a syllabus to other people on how you should be treated and how you should be loved. And that is the most important thing. So invest in yourself before investing in anyone else.
Oh my god, I love that. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that. Loving yourself is like giving a syllabus to another. I like that. I will
Yeah.
use that. I will use that. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you, Pauline, for doing another girl talk with me. I really appreciate it. You know how much I love you. But yeah,
Oh, I love you.
anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe down below if you haven't already. Click that notification bell so you get notified every time I post a video. And of course, give this video a thumbs up. Anyway, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.